Here we are back at it. Welcome.
Back at it.
Welcome to the
Thank
Hopestream podcast, Cathy.
By the way, can I just say how much I'm loving your new office situation?
Hey, you know what this is? This is called your 25-year-old moves out of the house and you get to use his room now as an office. And
I
so
tell you.
it's a little stage right now because I'm going to paint. I'm super excited to get it set up because I've been in, for those of you who don't know, I've been in a spare bedroom. Actually, when I started in 2020, it was COVID lockdown, right? And we didn't have any
Oh, yeah.
space. We were in a teeny tiny little condo. So I would sit at our dresser in our bedroom and, there's nowhere for your knees to go when you're sitting at a dresser. So
Right,
I
right.
would have like my legs on our kitchen stool or on our bar stool, sitting at the dresser. My husband took a picture one day. I got to find that because it is so
It's
funny.
so funny.
So I've come a long way to even
You've
get
come a long
here.
way. Look at
My
that.
Amazon
I,
olive tree. Do you
I
like it?
like it. I like the olive
I
tree. I
can
like the
share a
little
link to it. It's
I
very
think you
cute.
should put it in the show
I
notes. Maybe
will.
other people.
It even has little olives on it. They're so
Does it
cute.
really?
Yeah.
I love olive
Yeah.
trees. It must be the Italian background. I
It's
love
the
olive trees. They're
Italian.
so pretty.
It's the Italian thing.
I'm sure
Oh
your
my
husband
gosh.
approves.
He does.
Italian approved
He
olive
does.
tree.
He does. He likes it. So yes, thank you. It's coming. It will start looking better because we are starting to publish these on YouTube. Um, I well, I won't go there. I didn't think anybody would listen on YouTube, but apparently women 40 to 60 are on YouTube looking for stuff like this. Who knew?
Okay. Who knew?
So here we are. So now Cathy and I actually have to like put on makeup before we do a podcast episode.
That's okay. That's
It's
okay.
probably good
I'll
for
do
us.
it. And I think it's good for us to show up without makeup sometimes too,
That will
because you know
happen for
what?
sure.
That is the reality
That
of most of our days.
that is for sure going to happen. So, okay,
Yeah.
so we just wanted to do a quickie. I think this is going to be a short episode, but it comes up all the time in our
Oh my
community
gosh.
because I don't know, when did we start talking about the lip clip? I don't even know when. Years
You
ago.
know, I wish I knew because it was so funny and we had so much fun when we started talking about the lip clip that I mean, oh my gosh, remember all the little, memes that we were putting
Yes.
in and we were saying like, oh, we actually got to get a real lip clip. I mean, we
Yes.
talk about the lip clip all the time
Every
and
single day.
everyone loves it. Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
However, what we realized lately is that there may be a little bit of confusion
Hmm.
on lip clip
Hmm.
application and the
Yes.
proper use and the proper time to use the lip clip. So this is your lip clip application tutorial.
This is This is the manual for the lip clip, in
Yes,
case you're wondering, when to use the lip clip and when not to use it, definitely when not to. We're gonna troubleshoot this whole thing.
we're troubleshooting. We should,
Yeah.
this is like it's not an unboxing, but yeah, it's a troubleshooting episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what is a lip clip, Cathy? Why don't you explain for us? For the people
Well,
listening who are like, what are these two women talking about?
isn't it that big plastic thing that you anyway, I'm going ahead of ourselves. Isn't it that big plastic thing that you have in your junk drawer?
It
But
is.
it is physically, if it had a physical form, that's what it would be, although it wouldn't be as quite as hurtful to our lips if we were to apply it.
Right. Because
But
normally it's the kind that goes on the chip bag, right?
on the chip bag.
Yeah, when you have
Yeah.
a half-eaten bag
Yeah.
of chips and then you put that clip on it.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
that's it.
So the lip clip is our kind of fun way of taking a tool from the invitation to change approach, and it's the pause button when we have communication, right? So it's the lip clip is equal to hitting the pause button.
But
I'm
more
trying to
fun.
make it but more fun.
Definitely more fun. And I think because it actually holds your lips closed, it
Uh-huh.
feels a little bit more powerful than a pause button. Because if I'm pressing the pause button, my mouth can still be moving, which is
Yeah,
not
and you can
always
still
good.
right, and you can still say, but," you can still kinda say things,
Yeah.
right? Maybe
Yes.
not a full sentence, but you might pop up with and by the way, we almost need to figure out the whole face thing too, because it's also about how do you keep your face from
From
what's the word?
expressing,
From expre yeah, how do you not do the eye rolls? How do you not you're
yes,
really gonna have to this is tough.
it
I
is.
mean, it seemed always when I remember when I first heard about the pause button and, ITC and thinking like, "Okay, that's not so hard," but it really is hard.
Yes. It's really hard, and
Yeah.
I think our moms, from what I have seen of how they describe how they use it, are phenomenal. Like, they're getting really,
Oh,
really good because they describe some of the situations where their child is talking to them, child
right?
meaning maybe 16, maybe 26, and they, in the past, would have said one thing, and because
Yeah,
they now have a lip clip, they do not say that thing. But
that's
what we
right.
also wanna make sure and talk about is what the lip clip is not,
Yeah.
because the
Tell
lip clip
us.
is
Tell us what is not what
will, because this is important. It is not avoidance. It is not just not saying anything. So we get to say what we need to say. We just wanna say it in a way that it isn't gonna blow up in our face, right? Because even
Right.
sometimes you just wanna, like, say something because you just wanna get it off your chest, or you just think you're right, or you have the answer, and if they could just hear this, right, they would change or
Mhm,
whatever, and they
mhm.
won't. So that's
No.
why we teach in the community and through the podcast, we teach strategic ways to have these conversations that give you the best chance of having success. We cannot guarantee success, obviously. We
Right,
don't have the answer, but
right,
we definitely have the tools that if you use them, it sets you up for the best chance of having a positive
right,
conversation. And so what the lip clip is not is just shutting up, taking bad behavior, taking, verbal abuse, not saying what you need to say. That is not what it is. So
right,
we just
right,
want to be very clear about that. It is not silencing us. It is giving us the time and the space to use the appropriate response. So we really like the Al Anon saying of say what you mean what you say, don't say it
don't say
mean.
it mean. I love it.
I
Say
love
that
that.
again. Say that
Say
again,
what
because
you
that's
mean what you say, don't say it mean. There is never a reason to say something mean. And I know
right,
how easy that is when you have somebody in your world who is doing things that make you angry or make you frustrated or make you
right,
like, what could they
yeah,
possibly be thinking? But it does not do anybody any good to say it mean, which is why we apply the lip clip. So we thought we would go through first, when do you use the lip clip? And then we'll talk about how. So
and we might give little stories of
we might
things
get,
that
we tend to do that.
we tend to give a little story like, "When has this happened to you?" So
Yes. So I would say a really good time to use the lip clip is when you feel like you just need to insert your opinion into a conversation. This might be with your child. It might also be with coworkers or a boss or a partner or a parent. And
mhm,
and you're just trying to get your opinion in there, or you're just trying to add something to the conversation, and you really don't need to, is a really good time to use it.
mhm,
I don't
mhm.
really have a story about this because this is pretty much every day of my life. So I just go through every day. I literally, somebody will say something and I think, do I need to add anything to this? And usually the answer is nope, I do not. I
Yeah,
could, I definitely could,
yeah,
but I do not. So
yeah,
that's one. What do you
yeah.
think?
That's a good one, that's a good one, especially when you say, like, "Is it gonna make a difference?" Right? I mean, right? When our kids are sharing something and we know our kids, they're gung ho, they're usually very proactive in what they're gonna do, and they're gonna do it. So our opinions really aren't gonna sway necessarily what they want to do.
Like, when's the last time you gave your child your opinion and they were like, "Oh my gosh, mom, you are so right. I should not be using a vape THC pen in the bathroom in my sophomore year of high school. Thank you for enlightening me
Yeah.
with that information."
Yeah, no, never.
Never.
I honestly I have a really great relationship with my kids now, and I'm thinking, even in the last few years, has that happened? I don't think so. So, no.
No, nope, never. I would
That's a
s
good one.
yeah, and then another time is and this happens all the time when
Mhm.
our kids are doing crazy things, is when you're highly emotional,
Yeah,
something has just happened, right? And that is the time when you are most prone to saying something that you do not wanna say. You're gonna
right.
probably throw out consequences that you're not gonna keep.
Mhm.
I do recall this one. I in a very heated emotional moment in front of a McDonald's, which was the local drug trading
Okay.
locale. Um,
Drug
I
trading and supersize
yeah,
hamburgers.
there was a little bit of like Xanax and fries going through the drive-through.
Okay. Okay.
Literally going through the drive-through, which I
Wow.
found out later.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wowza.
Um, but I made in a very emotional statement that my son was never allowed to ever, ever, ever come home again, ever, as long as he lived his life.
Mm,
And he was 17.
mm.
Obviously, I did not mean that,
Oh, yeah.
but I did not understand. I did not have a lip clip. And so I think the highly emotional time is a really, really important time. You
Yeah.
might want to get the extra strength lip clip for that time. Have you
Yeah.
ever
And
said anything out of emotion that you regret later?
never. I'm perfect. I've never said anything out of
Great.
emotion. So many times I have said things that, oh boy. But you know what I will say, and I actually love the second part two of this because yes, I'm highly emotional at times, and I have definitely I can even say in the last 4 years there were and I should know better because I knew about the lip clip, but I've said things because 'cause I've been highly emotional, and not all the time with my kids, by the way. It's been with elderly parents that that's where I feel a little triggered. Um, but you know what I love about this one is that I have gone back afterwards and said, "I really blew it right there.
Yeah.
Can I have take 2?" Or whatever that is, or,
Yeah.
"I know I said this, I didn't really mean it." I let my emotions get the best of me, so I'm not sure how to respond right now, so I'm just gonna take this away, but I want you to know that I'm recognizing that was too emotional or whatever it
Yeah.
is. And I have to say, that little part 2 of this one, it works so well, so because I know there are moms in our community that have said that, "Oh my gosh, I could not keep my mouth shut, I couldn't use a lip clip." And they always feel so relieved when we say, "Hey, it's okay, go back. When things are calm, don't do it right away. Like, you let things kinda simmer down,
Yeah.
and then go back and say, 'Yeah, this didn't really work.'" You're modeling for your kids it's a great modeling tool. But I just love it because usually when the emotions are all calmed down, everyone's like, "Okay, yeah, I didn't mean that either, mom," and
Yes.
all of that, right?
Yeah, it is great
So,
modeling. I think it takes a lot of humility. I think it
yeah,
takes but
yeah.
if you are willing if you really want that relationship, that's what it takes.
Yeah.
So,
For
yeah.
sure, for sure.
Another really good time is when you find yourself starting to give advice, which we do tend to be very good at because we know everything. But when you're starting to give advice instead of asking open-ended questions. So again, with the invitation to
Yeah,
change approach, a big part of that is motivational interviewing. We have lots of podcast episodes on motivational
mhm.
interviewing. And Giving advice is not included in motivational interviewing. It's actually the opposite. So if you find
Right.
yourself, you should, or, you should do this, you should do that. Well, if I were you, I would do this. Those are the times when you just whoop, apply the lip clip
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
figure out how you can turn that into an open ended question, which probably sounds more like, wow, well, what have you thought about? Oh, how have you thought about solving that problem? Oh, what do you think
Mhm.
you're going to do next? Oh, well, what have you already tried? And it's painful because we just want to give them our advice and they're not going to listen to it anyway. So,
That's right.
better to apply the lip clip for a minute, think through those open ended questions, and then come back at it and try it from a different perspective.
So good. So easy. See, here, wrapped up,
Yeah,
all done.
so easy.
So easy.
So easy. Yes. And then I think another time really that, and maybe you have more, but another big time that I see this being really helpful is when you are tempted to solve a problem,
Yeah.
but it's not your problem to solve. And that happens all the time.
It's so hard, though. It's so hard. This is the hard one for me, you know? It
Yes.
really is with our kids, especially where, oh gosh, I'm a little speechless because I get it. We do, we've talked about this before. Our kids are little. We've solved their problems forever.
Yeah.
Oh, you're hungry. Here's here's some food. You're sleepy. Let's give you a nap, etc. And then they get older, the problems get bigger, and we may have even had life experience with some of their problems.
Yes.
Especially. So, but it really doesn't help them to try to solve them. It really doesn't, and, doing a disservice, so it's a great time for that lip clip for sure.
Yeah. We love the saying, before you solve a problem, make sure
Make
it's
su
yours.
That's right,
Before you solve a
that's right.
problem, make sure it's yours. Because if you do that little gut check, it's usually not. And you're really, I think I've done so many episodes about the backpack and how we really rob our kids of opportunities to learn.
Mhm,
And I think about a time when my son was very early in recovery and he came to visit and he got a message that his flight had been canceled, his flight
mhm.
home. And he had planned to like literally get off the plane and go straight to his job when he got home. So there was not 1 minute to spare. And so all of a
Right.
sudden now he was not going to be able to make it to work on the day when he was flying home. So I kid you not, I did not even blink. I picked up the phone, I dialed Alaska Airlines, I just went into problem solving mode. And then I caught myself and I was like, what am I doing? This is not
Yeah,
my problem to
yeah.
solve. This is his problem to solve. And some of it's just habit, right?
Oh,
We
for
mean
sure,
well.
for
We're
sure.
certainly not trying to do it, but because we know how to do it, we could do it quickly. And he's very ADHD. And I caught myself and I said, oh, buddy, I'm really sorry. I just jumped right in to solve this problem for you. This is nothing that I need to get involved with. uh, you know, it's all you. And it was so painful because it was like, he's like, well, do you think I should do this? Or do you think I should do that? Or, well, what if there's not another flight? And, for 15 minutes, he kind of spun in that ADHD brain of like, oh my gosh, oh
Mhm.
my gosh, oh my gosh, I'm going to miss my shift. And then I'm not going to make enough money. And then I'm not going to have money for rent. He
Yeah,
started doing that.
yeah.
And so I just said, "Hey, what do you think would happen if you just called the airline and told them, 'This actually doesn't work for me. I need to get home at the original time of my original flight.'" Like, what do you think would happen if you did that? "Oh, yeah, I guess I'll try that." And he did, and they just got him on a different flight. No problem.
Wow, wow.
And so, lesson learned, right? I do
Yeah,
not need to jump in and solve that problem. It took him a little longer, but now is he ever afraid to call the airline? Heck no. He just calls them up, says that this is what I
right,
need
right, right.
because he was empowered to do that. So that's just a little example of, really making sure this is my problem to solve. And if it is, great, solve it.
Yeah,
But if it's
yeah.
theirs,
I
We have a
loved
hard
how you
thinking.
did that. I loved how you even said, like, you went right to call the airline and stopped yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, that's so great, and then, yeah, just the empowerment that now he can do this whenever, he will always remember, I think, that little conversation you guys had,
Yeah.
more than just you letting him stew around, you guided him in a very gentle way, um, and he still did it, right? I mean, it's
Right.
not that, you I love it. You came alongside him
Yeah,
to
we don't
to
have
help
to
him.
abandon them. I think
You're not abandoning him.
that's another
Exactly.
misperception of the lip clip potentially
Yes.
is I'm just gonna abandon them, and you don't need to do that. You can
Right.
still give guidance, but like, doctor I just re-listened to Dr. Mark McConnell's episode, I think it's called Failure to Launch, when your 20-something kid isn't doing I don't know, I can't remember the title, we'll put it in the show notes. But Dr. Mark McConnell, and he specializes in adolescents and young adults who kind of don't
Mhm.
launch as planned.
Right.
And he was saying this, like, we need to become consultants at this age when our kids are, literally like we need to start doing this when they're like 5 or 6, but certainly by the time they're in high school and certainly by
Mhm.
the time they're young adults we're consultants to them. So we basically don't have a lot of power, but we have a ton of influence. And so thinking, and that's kind of what I was thinking with him, it's like, what if I was in a work situation and one of my coworkers was spinning on like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? And what did it? I think I would just say, oh, well, what if you just called?
Right.
So the more you can
Right.
think of yourself as a consultant, the lip clip is not meant to abandon them. It's not meant to just be like, well, you're on your own, buddy. Good luck. It's really, again, that time to think through what is the better response that I could give right now.
Fantastic. Love it. Love it.
Okay, how then do we apply the lip clip? It's pretty simple. I mean, it opens and it closes. There's not a lot of
Yeah.
apparatus. But I think it's important to listen to your body because your body is going to tell you when the time is nearing to apply your lip clip. For me, it's a racing in my heart, kind of in my chest area. It starts to like, it feels like there's a million butterflies in there and they just
Mhm.
all want to get out. And I'm like, oh, this means I'm feeling the need to either interject or solve or whatever it is, and so that's when I know I better go to that junk drawer and find the clip and get it ready because 'cause I'm gonna need it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good. You know what it is for me? It's I'm hearing the conversation going on and I'm listening to the problem and then all of a sudden it's like everything becomes dull and my brain starts taking over like this is
Oh.
how I would do it, this is how I would do it. And okay, and I stop listening truly
Mhm.
to what's going on and I'm more wrapped up in how to solve it.
Yes.
And so, for me, it is literally where I have to say, take a deep breath, don't solve it right now, and just listen. And I have to say that over and over. And, and I kind of can bring myself down. But yeah, it's almost like this glaze comes over my eyes. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm all ready to go. Let's all go.
Yeah,
So
you're
anyway,
reloading up here. You're, like,
I'm reloading. I'm
formulating
reloading.
your sentence.
Yeah, what is it?
Yes.
The little circle in the apple, when you're
Oh,
waiting for
yes.
something to load and it's going that's what's
Yeah.
if you could imagine, that's what's going on in my brain right now. Loading, loading.
Loading, 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 and I think it's okay too to say to the other person, like, if you've missed part of what they're
Yeah.
saying because your brain is offline doing the other thing, I think it's okay to say, "Oh, could you say that again? I just found myself trying to solve a problem that's not mine, and I
Oh, I love
really
that.
wanna listen to you, but I need you to say that again because I was not paying attention."
I love
I'm a
that.
big fan of just saying the truth, like,
Oh, yeah.
I was already trying to solve this problem in my head, and I
Mhm.
realized I need to just stop and listen to you, and people really appreciate that because you're telling them the truth,
Yeah.
You're just
Yeah,
saying
they
what's
really,
true.
really do. Yeah,
Um,
love that.
I think also another how on applying the lip clip is just be aware. We all know those people that sort of trigger us, that get us agitated, that we have a lot of friction with. And just know that you just like have the lip clip stuck on your purse strap or something. Just bring it with you because
Right.
you know there are certain people, certain situations, certain topics, usually like politics and religion and sex. And
Yeah.
I don't know, there's all certain ones that are just gonna trigger you. That's a good time. Just know you're gonna need it. Plan ahead. Bring two if you
Yeah.
need in case you drop one. Or you could give one to a friend. That always
Yeah.
is nice also.
Right.
You could
Or
send
like
this episode to the person who triggers you and say, "Hey,
exactly.
I was thinking about
Exactly.
you today."
Yeah, for sure. I even, I bring along my little partner, my husband, and if we're driving to go out to meet folks for dinner or whatever, we always say, "Okay, if this topic comes up,
Yes,
this is how I'm planning on responding. What do you think?" We kind of powwow before. We do a little quarterbacking before we go
love
out.
that.
And I tell you, it's so awesome because, especially in today's, climate, there's lots to talk
There's lots
about.
to talk about.
And some people are very passionate. I
Yes,
love, I love that people are passionate about things. I mean,
yes.
really, that's the coolest thing. But there are some things that we just don't want to be dragged into. And
Yeah,
so we just sit there and we listen. And then a lot of times we know tell us about that. We change the situation. So,
yeah.
yeah, the lip
It's
clip is great for situations like that for
I
sure.
like the quarterbacking. That's a really good idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because it is true. There's a lot to talk about, and a lot of it just doesn't need to be talked about. But
No, but
yeah.
that works with your kids too, right? I
Mhm.
mean, I know that
Mhm.
my husband and I, we did a lot of that with our kids. Hey, our daughter's going to call. She's going to ask for this. You know, how do we want to respond? And so we would do that. And so have those conversations, practice the dialogue if you have to. I'm a
Yes.
huge believer in kind of doing a little script before
Yes.
and, look, if you trust that person, by the way, if you're a stream mom and you want to do that with anybody, please reach out to other members in the stream
Yeah.
because I think it's really nice to have a little session where you can just kind of say, well, what if she says this? How do I respond?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, have a
Hmm.
little practice pod, like
We'll practice. Yeah.
yeah.
Practice pot. I love that.
Yeah, you can just DM people within the community and say like, "Hey, you wanna be in my practice pod?" And
Yeah.
maybe for, like, 20 minutes once a week, you just run through surf and information sandwich and,
Hmm.
what do you I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
super
All the
helpful.
things.
All the things. I think too that I used to always think that I had to respond immediately when something
Hmm.
happened. My son would come home intoxicated, belligerent. We would just get in these huge fights. Now I know that's a red light moment.
A red light
If you
moment.
don't know what we're talking about, join us in the stream and you'll learn what the red light moments are. And it's a red light moment, first of all. Second of all, there is no expiration date on like how when you need to respond.
That's
So
right.
no matter what, a application of the lip clip and then a purposeful, intentional response that comes later is always going to trump a quick, emotional, on the spot response that is probably going to do more damage than
Oh,
good.
for sure.
And
Absolutely.
it feels a little weird to not respond right away because we're used to just like going into problem solving mode. And that's when you can just say to yourself, to your kiddo, to your partner, this is just not the time. We're just not
Mhm.
going to have a productive conversation right now. Everybody back off, walk around the block, drink your water, take your deep breaths, listen to a meditation, punch a punching bag, whatever you got to do. That is gonna be the better time, just hands down. I've never heard anybody say that a highly emotional, you know, instant reaction went well and solved all the problems.
Oh, agree. agree. And, I'm a big believer in when you say that too, it doesn't even have to be that day, right? Like, I know we've said to our kids, we need a couple days, we'll get back to you. Because we all know our kids also may be like, "I need a decision now. I want
Right.
you." Well, that's just part of manipulation too, and recognizing that, and it's perfectly fine to say, "I'm not ready to give you, you know,
Yeah.
my feedback now," whatever that is.
Yeah.
So, it's just being okay with certain things and look, um, anyway,
You were gonna tell a
mine is
story.
7. Let's go tell a story
Okay,
about
we'll cut that out.
we'll cut that
Yes.
out.
Yeah, and I think you're right. It really helps you think about what is my intent with this response? And
Mhm.
intent is so important because
Right.
often our intent is, I just want to gather a bunch of ammunition. Were you
Mhm.
drinking? Where did you go? Who were you with? How could you do that?
Oh
Why
gosh,
did
yeah.
you do that? I mean, those are not the kinds of questions that we're saying to ask after you take off your lip clip. Those are the kinds of questions that are just feeding your own desire for ammunition. They are not going to move the conversation forward in a positive way. They're not going to move everybody closer to collaboration.
Right.
It's just fuel for the fire. So, really getting clear on what is my intent with this question or with this statement? Am I just trying to get my opinion in there because I want to be right? Right? I want to be the one who's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
I know the best way to solve this. I know what's right for you. You probably don't, as
Yeah,
much as we want to say that we do, we probably don't.
we probably don't.
No.
We probably don't. And so I agree. I love all of that. That's so true. Gathering, oh my gosh, I'm so good at all these. I feel
Yes.
like you're taking me down memory lane, Brenda.
No, I know. Well, it's important to remember because when you're in the
Yeah.
thick of it, we have the beautiful perspective now that we are living calm lives for the most part with not a lot of drama going on. So we can say this. So also, if you're like, how are they saying this? It's because we are in a calm place, which is
That's
why
right.
we want to share these things with you because we didn't have anybody to share these things with us when we were in the thick of it. We were just out there flailing, being crazy people, gathering ammunition, firing off emotional responses, saying things that we didn't mean, like you're never going to be my son again, you're never welcome home. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I remember getting home that night after the McDonald's incident and telling my husband, I only have one son now.
Oh,
And
I'm
I was
sorry.
just
That's so
sobbing
hard.
and sobbing and
Yeah.
sobbing and sobbing. And I really meant it. Like I really felt like like I had lost him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was so sad, and I so regretted saying the things that I had said to my son at that McDonald's, and I actually had to go to EMDR for that one. There was some other stuff that happened at that same incident, but it was really traumatic, and I so wished I could have taken all of that back, and if I would have just known, recognized I'm horribly triggered, I'm
Yeah.
sweating, I'm shaking, I can't even swallow. My chest is just bursting. This is not a good time to do
Yeah.
anything other than just drive away, sit and calm down and breathe, call somebody. But I didn't know that. So that's why we share these episodes because
Yeah.
you can handle this better than we did, which is the good news. Is you can handle this so much better. It takes practice. It takes a drop of the ego, which a lot of the time, Kathy and I have these conversations and we're like, what do you think it is? What do you think it is that is really holding a lot of these parents back? And a lot of the time we come back to ego because
Yeah.
it's hard
Yeah.
to let that go when you probably are right. You probably do have the right answer. You probably do know what's best for them right now. And none of it's going to be accepted by them in this moment.
In this moment, right? And that's just it. And it's and truly I think that's the tough thing, and to have just take that deep breath, like you said, drive away, and truly in the end, when it all matters, it won't matter who is right or wrong
Nope.
or what you were doing or, the resolution to the problem. It doesn't matter who came up with it or when or how.
Nope.
Ultimately, none of that matters, but, we do see you right now and understand that this is a really, really tough situation, so, um, anyway, another shout out to please, if you feel like you need extra, extra support, to please reach out to a therapist because that's something that is also gonna help, but anyway,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's very true, and this is not even just helpful if your kiddo's struggling, like, if they're new in recovery,
Mhm.
right? They're coming out of treatment, maybe they just got into a sober living. You want to because now they're sober. You can say so many things, right? Like, "Okay, they have a clear mind. I can give them all of this information." No, don't. Don't do that. Just, ho in the right moment, at the right time, if they ask, or if you've used open-ended questions and then you wanna use the information sandwich. But this lip clip is really, valuable at all stages of the journey,
I agree.
and almost
And
maybe even more so when they're in recovery.
okay, I was just gonna say, can I say something that I feel that the lip clip is even more important when they're in early recovery and in recovery?
Yeah.
Because, first of all, they're clear-minded for the most part, and they are I mean, look at this beautiful gift that they've been given. They've given a chance to look at their life in a totally new way, and they're like a baby again. They're figuring out how to do things in
Yeah.
this new life, how to go out, how to be with friends, in a social situation, right?
Yeah.
And, as parents, that scares the heck out of us. I think I shared, maybe I didn't share that my daughter loves music festivals, absolutely loves them, and she's in recovery. And she went to a music festival this year. And, I was thinking, oh my gosh, is
You're
this
like,
the right
"Oh, boy."
thing? And let me tell you, the lip clip came out strong in that conversation with her. And you know what? I didn't even have to say anything. She offered before I even said anything. Oh, by the way, I joined a Facebook group that is basically for people in recovery that are going to this concert. And I found out all the resources that are going to be at this 5-day concert. I was thinking, dang, I didn't even say anything. And she figured that out and she shared and she almost knew that that was what I was going to ask,
Of
So,
course she did.
of course she did. So, but yes, I really feel, especially when they're in recovery, how are they going to learn all these new tools? You gotta, we're not holding their hands as they walk right now. They're learning to walk on their own. We gotta let them walk on their own. And not to say you can't say, "Hey, I'm here if you need anything, extra
Right.
support for this or that. You just let me know when is a good time,"
Yes.
and
Yes.
right?
That is such a perfect story of the proper lip clip application, and I was just thinking as you were saying that again, because we don't wanna say that we are not valuable, that we are not influential, and that we don't have good information, we usually do, and I was just thinking if I had to pair the lip clip with some other tool, I would pair it perfectly with the information sandwich, because if you apply the lip clip, you give it a minute, you think it through, and there's something going on, that's when if you're calm, you're cool, you're collected, you could say, "Hey, what do you know about XYZ?" Right? That's the top of
Mhm,
the information sandwich.
mhm.
"What do you know?" Like, first of all, is this a good time? Like, but sometimes you're in a
Yeah,
conversation, so like, you're there.
yeah,
So you
yeah,
could say, "Hey, can we just take 1 second? Do you have a second? I just wanted to ask you something." "Well,
right.
yeah." Okay, because that's polite and respectful. "What do you know about," like, let's use your example. If she had not offered the information, you could have
Right,
said,
right.
like, "What do you know about, festival? Like, does this festival have, any kind of, sober club," or whatever. I don't know what they call it.
meetings at the at
Yeah.
this event. Are they is there any place for those people in recovery to gather?
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. And that probably would have kind of come out better if we'd practiced it,
would have
but
been.
yes, you would have asked,
Yeah.
"What does she know first?" Because our
Mhm,
kids are brilliant. They
mhm.
know a lot. They probably have it all, like, Chat GPT'd and, in a book already. So, what do you know about what's going on at this festival when it comes to, like, people who are in recovery? And
Yeah,
she might have said, "Oh, yeah, there's this, and there's this, and there's this, and there's this." And then that's how the information sandwich works, because 'cause you're like, "Oh, good, she already knows." Now, if she
right.
had said, "Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. What are you talking? Like, maybe there's I don't know." Then you could have said, "Oh, I saw this thing the other day that at, Coachella, they have a, like, sober tent." I don't know what they are, but I know that they do have
They
them.
do, yeah, they do have tents, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a sober tent. What would you think about checking that out? So, I
Yeah,
think the lip clip, once you apply it and you gather yourself, really does pair well nicely with the information sandwich, because it gives you that opportunity then to, if you
yeah,
do have information that's helpful, to give it. Again, we're
yeah,
not saying we don't wanna give information, we do, but we wanna give it in a way that is sets you up best to not get it smashed back in your face, which is
right.
probably what's gonna happen if you just flat out give advice. So anyways, I
Absolutely.
just thought of that off the cuff.
That was really great. You did a nice pairing right there.
Yes, thank you. I just come to me for any of your invitation to change pairing needs. I will set you up.
You're
All
the
right.
sommelier.
I am the ITC
Invitation.
sommelier.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, that's what we wanted to share today. We hope you feel empowered with your new lip
Yeah.
clip. We've thought about getting some made. If we do, we will sell them on our website or something. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. I think that would be so great. I mean,
It
just
would.
to have something, right? A little tiny
Yeah.
little clip.
Like a little clothespin or something, just
Yeah. Everyone needs a little
but extra
reminder.
strength.
Extra strength.
All right. We'll see you back next time.
Nice chatting, Brenda. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.